Welcome to Ask Hypnotica 38, gentlemen, here on a little heat wave. That's why I have that little blue blow-up thing over there. No, it's not a blow-up doll for you perverts out there, although you can get wet in that. I don't know if you can get wet in a doll, but that's beside the point. So, anyways, hey, this question comes in actually from my Facebook group called Hypnotica the Master Circle. And a lot of guys have been asking me about this, and a lot of guys are just straight confused about this whole thing, all right? And it basically says, is this true or not? I used to think that there was something called game where you could say the right things and seduce any woman you wanted, okay? And then goes on and on and on. And then another guy said, hey, this isn't the first time that I've heard that game and pickup artists is bullshit. Can you elaborate? Maybe potentially ask Hypnotica. Everyone says don't be gamey or overly pua. Just be natural. No game is better than being gamey. I want to learn about this. Eric Von Sydow, please and thanks. Well, let me tell you something, okay? Let me give you the history just a little bit about how this whole thing evolved. Lots of guys think Pua just evolved, but it evolved from something. And way back before the game and Pua was even there, about 5 of us, we started this whole movement, this mythopoetic movement as far as guys coming together. This is like when the internet was very, very beginning. There's only a few of us that were out there that were actually going out there and figuring out how to do stuff. And what we did is we shared. Literally, I say there were 6 original guys in the group. And this is where everything, this whole community, this whole genre came from, all right? And we all got together and we shared ideas. And that's what it was about, sharing ideas, becoming a better man, learning, how to get over certain obstacles that were in the way, and learning how to develop confidence, learning about rejection. It was about a group of men coming together to share ideas to become better men, all right? Now, give a couple years, David D'Angelo, Evan Pagan, same guy, basically master marketer, comes together, throws his W Your Dating seminar, and he markets the shit out of it and made a hell of a lot of money, okay? So everyone's thinking, hey, man, this is like the new thing, like this is going to be cool. And he basically brought people up on stage, and we all talked about different ideas that we were exploring. So time goes on, and then there's this guy named Mystery, all right? And Mystery basically was, I guess, Neil's friend. Neil came from the New York Times and decided they all got together, and they said, hey, you know what, let's pick up this and figure out what it is. And these 2 guys, I guess, labeled what we were doing called pickup artists, okay? Which, kind of a slap in the face, but you know what? Lots of guys were looking for help, and so, I immersed myself in there because, you know what? If there's going to be lots of guys there that need real help, I'm going to be there for them, and they're not going to get bullshitted too, because pickup artists hurt a lot of guys. I can't tell you how many guys have done private sessions with me to unlearn game, because they think that game is this technical, manipulative, strategic way of meeting women. Now, is it better than doing nothing? Yeah, I'll give you that, okay? If you're seeking, it's probably going to help you out more than if you didn't study anything at all, because it's at least giving you a certain direction. However, here's an interesting note. I'm in the game. I'm Rasputin in the game, okay? They didn't use my pseudonym or my real name, all right? So, but let me tell you a little bit about it. I haven't even read the game. Lots of guys are like, well, you're in the book. I didn't read the game. I didn't want to know about other people and what they were doing. I've read 1 book on pickup artists, 1, all right, in 20-something years. And here's the reason for it, okay? A lot of guys are surprised at that, but here's the reason. Because I wanted to explore myself. I didn't want anyone else's ideas. I wanted to forge my own path. I wanted to go out there and learn. Now, is it true that I mingled with other guys and figured out, hey, we had talks? Yeah, that's what they were. They were talks. But I knew every single guy that was having these talks actually went out there, all right? When the game came out, the Secret Society of Pickup Artists, lots of wannabes came up there. Matter of fact, it was so embarrassing sometimes. I'd be speaking on stage, and a guy before me or after me, I could tell that this guy was, borderline, like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I was like, what? What I really thought in the beginning was that a lot of men were using this as a shield to show everyone how masculine they are because they didn't want to come out of the closet, right? Now, that's my own personal thought about it, because if you saw the early days when Pua came out, It was embarrassing. It really was. I mean, some of the shit that guys were saying on stage, I was embarrassed to follow them, all right? And I came and I just laid it straight out like, yo, get your masculinity back up. Let's reconnect into manhood, okay? This is not about games. It's not about bullshitting people. This isn't about being a used lemon car salesman. And that's what I kind of consider a PUA is. A PUA, to me, is a person underachieving. It's a person who has a bunch of little games and tactics, all right, to trick a person into going to bed with them. But you know what? That trick, it's like I said, it's a one-trick pony. Because when the girl finds out who you really are, because you haven't done your work, you haven't got some grit and learned what you're about as a man, all right, she's going to dump you. And trust me, if you look at the guys who are in some of the pickup artist stuff, they're not doing too well, okay? They're getting their asses handed to them by life, by women, okay? Because they never learned that true masculinity, that groundedness of what it means to be a man, to be a man. And you know what? Women will always choose a man over a pickup artist because a man, all right, and I'm going to say man. I think there's lots of guys out there, but it's a certain level to become a man. Like, I don't think you should get that label unless you actually go out there and you do something, you approve something, you get tested, you have life beat you up and you pop back up, you do good for the community. Okay, man's a certain level. Okay, it's like a ranking. You got to earn that. Just because you're like 23 years old and you got laid a couple times doesn't make you a man. It makes you a guy, in my opinion. All right. So if you want to really take advantage of life, if you want to take advantage of being a man, okay, go out there and find out who you are. Go out there and get down and dirty. Because we know what? When you're down and dirty and you don't put up with shit and you know what you're about and you know what your beliefs are and your boundaries are and what you want, and that does take some soul searching, not just reading a book and trying a few lines and being like, oh, you know what, this didn't work, or hey, this did work, I tricked some girl in the bed. All right, you have a real sense of self when you go out there and you really find out who and what you are. And when you find that, it resonates off of you, okay? That's masculinity. Women look for that. When you can basically look at someone and step up where maybe perhaps you've been afraid to, it shows. It develops character, and that's what's important. So the reason why I say unlearn game is because there is no game, okay? There's only what is it you want, what are you going to do to get it, and what boundaries are you going to set up for yourself. If anyone falls out of those, you let them know straight up, all right? And if you go after something, you know what? You never trick a woman into bed. You always inspire a woman to bed. Think about that. You inspire a woman to go to bed with you. Something you said, how you look, whatever it is, okay? If you're doing it right, you inspired her into bed. And that's what being a man who is a modern-day sexual man deserves for himself. And he deserves to get as much as he wants for his reasons, okay, despite what anyone else ever says. So the game came along. Lots of people jumped in, tried to ride the bandwagon because they thought you were going to get rich because David D'Angelo made a shitload of money, and so did Neil, all right? But, you know, a lot of other guys didn't. And so, you know, the pickup artist of the year, the poo of the moment, okay, they're bye-bye. You know, look at them now. Where are they? They're gone. Why? Because they really didn't have that true depth of wanting to really help men out and be here during the tough times, the high times, the low times, and the here and now times. So that's just something I wanted to say. Learn who you are. Go out there. You're not going to grow if you don't push beyond what you're used to. If you don't go beyond your comfort zone, okay? The comfort zone is which defines you. It pushes you out. It expands you. It's like going into the wilderness, right? If you're walking on that path, okay, everyone's walked on that path. There's pretty much the same thing. There's a little danger here and there, but you know what? You're not getting down and dirty, all right? When you take that machete out and you say, I want to go that way, they're like, oh, you can't go that way because it's blocked and there's trees. You know, you go, fuck that shit. You take that machete out and you start hacking away. And you know what? You got shit flying at you with fucking animals and snakes and all kinds of shit. But you know what? You hack through it. Can you get hurt? Can you die? Can you get beat up a bit? Absolutely. Okay. But you know what? You're going a place no other people did. And when you have that bravery and you have that courage and you're going to be able to explore new realms and new experiences that no one else did, okay, that rubs off, that forges your character. So I hope this really helped for you to really sit back, take a deep breath in, realize what your definition of being a man is, someone that you would be proud of, and realize you're not going to learn it from a book, all right? The book can help a little bit, but not much. Only experience is going to teach you. Only life is going to teach you. Only making powerful decisions is going to teach you. And only living beyond that which you're used to is going to teach you. That's how you develop manhood. That's how you go after what you want. And that's how you have huevos, my friend, huevos. So with that, I hope this helped. This is Hypnotica, and we are out of here.